You do not pronate on a serve. You heard it right. This is for sure going to be one of our most controversial videos, but rest assured, this is rooted in science, in biomechanics, how to generate the most speed possible on your first serve. You will have been told to pronate your wrist to make sure you snap it at the contact, and it is not the way to do it. Ben is going to take you through all the detail, explain the biomechanics of the serve, and to ensure that you are not pronating, but actually internally rotating. A subtle difference in language, but it's actually a completely different movement, and one you must understand if you want to progress your serve and make it faster and faster and faster. If you're pronating, you're actually holding back and leaving some speed in the tank.
Hold on to your rackets. It is time to argue with the tennis playing fraternity, the tennis coaching fraternity. I'm going to use a word you've all heard before, and that is pronation. And I'm here to tell you that you do not pronate when you play a tennis serve. It is in fact an internal rotation of the shoulder joint, and there is a really important reason why, and I'm going to show you right now. So my wrist here, my racket, is in a neutral position. This is the widely accepted chopper grip, and I'm not arguing with that. It's definitely how you hold a tennis racket when you're going to serve. I'm going to pronate this tennis racket. So I'm up here, I'm going to serve. That is pronation. That's not what you're doing when you're playing a tennis serve. Just a quick lesson on some biomechanics. This is neutral. Pronation is palm down. Supination is palm up, like you're holding a bowl of soup. There you go, that's how you remember it. Pronation, supination. So with a racket in my hand, supinate, that ain't gonna work. Pronate, oh, I mean, that's really, really difficult. So all those players out there trying to pronate at contact, all you're doing is turning your wrist towards the ball. It doesn't help. All it's going to do is jam your wrist into a locked position and ultimately decelerate the racket. We all know that at contact, we want to be traveling as quickly as possible. If you then hit the brakes immediately afterwards, either you're going to tear your rotator cuff muscles to smithereens, you're going to have all kinds of tennis elbow and other injuries, but also you're going to start to decelerate the serve. Just think about a sprinter. If they cross the line at 100 meters and then have to stop by 110, they will not be going at full speed at 100. They take ages to decelerate. I seem to remember Usain Bolt running for a good 400 meters after he won. That's kind of the point. When we come through the contact of a tennis serve here, we don't want to stop until the racket has come all the way around down to the finish. Therefore, if we are going to go up to the serve as fast as we can, if you just watch my shoulder joint here, as I come through the ball, it is my entire arm that is rotating inwards, which is an internal rotation of the shoulder joint. If you throw as fast as you can, at the point of release, your arm, your shoulder will go into internal rotation and then follow through. You know you've got it right because your thumb will end up in your opposite pocket, your contralateral pocket, for those of you interested in biomechanics. So we start with little finger forwards. As we're coming up, we rotate around the shoulder joint, internal rotation, and then we come down thumb first. So we go from little finger to thumb, through the contact, and then we come down. The idea being that as we go flying through the contact, nothing is stopping, nothing is decelerating, nothing is slowing us down. That opens us up to as much acceleration as possible, as much speed as possible, and a much faster serve. So stop pronating and start internally rotating.
I think it's important to remember here, and I'm sure people have already commented, if you've stuck to the end, you'll know, that coaches aren't necessarily getting this wrong, and when they're asking their players to pronate to help generate speed in the serve, you get like snap your wrist and all that sort of thing. It's not necessarily wrong, but they're just misunderstanding the biomechanics and what actually you're asking your student to do. But the big drill that you need to stop doing and stop thinking is good is the ball in the fence.
Oh man, that one annoys me.
Is the stopping on the contact to make sure, unless the only reason you could see an argument for it is you're developing chopper grip and you've got to be in chopper grip to go like frame up and then you're opening, but it doesn't finish at the contact. As we said, you've got to go through it and you have to rotate through it, and that's the point of this.
Yeah, I think it would be like teaching someone to kick a football, but then stop immediately as they kick the ball. It's like everything you say up to that point can be perfect, but you can't ignore the follow through because it's still part of the motion. And that's the thing, trying to pronate and focusing on that, on the hand and the racket around the contact is just a really, really fast way to end up on a treatment table with a very expensive massage therapist charging you hundreds of pounds to fix something that never should have happened in the first place.
Yeah, I think the bit to take away, for me certainly, is the little finger leading. So it's your little finger goes up, so you've got that beam of the racket going at the ball here, and then as you come through, you should finish with your thumb down towards your pocket. And if you've done that, you will have rotated, you will have maximized the use of chopper grip in terms of your biomechanics and adding speed. So if you're doing those things, you're probably doing it right.
Yes, when you learn this and when you try and add this into your serve, just be aware that you're going to spray loads of serves wildly off. If you're right-handed to the right, left-handed to the left, as in off to the side, because as that racket's coming through, you're going to get all kinds of weird contact angles. That's just a good sign. 1 step back for 2 steps forwards is the name of the game, unfortunately, when you're learning. It's not as linear as you'd like it to be.
For those of you that don't know, we have a Make Your Serve Faster course, and this concept, making sure that we're internally rotating, is of course in it, along with loads of other unique, helpful, delightfully presented tips, trips,
where are we going? Where are we going?
Tips, tricks and concepts to level up your serve and make it the biggest, fastest weapon it could possibly be.
You're right, you're out of breath. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and the link to that course is just below.